This is verse 7 of the 16th chapter, Gospel of Matthew. Jesus has warned his disciples about the leaven, as he calls it, of the Sadducees and the Pharisees. The disciples, very candidly reporting later their own lack of insight here, fixate on the fact that they had forgotten to bring bread and assume that Jesus, in referring to leaven, somehow has in mind the bread of the religious leaders, and that is what Matthew explains to us here. So hoi, this is the article. It's used here as a pronoun, so it means they, postpositive da, dialogizanto, from dialogizomai. Logizomai means to reason in oneself. The dia adds the idea of reasoning through, thinking about it, dialoguing is our English derivative from this. It's in the middle voice, and it reinforces en heautus, or en heautois, among themselves. So they were reasoning, whispering, thinking among themselves as to what Jesus meant by this. Legontes, present participle, saying, in the nominative plural, to refer back to the disciples who are reasoning among themselves. That, hoti, the conjunction, artus, breads, in the plural, uk, negation, elabomen, we have not brought, sort of putting it in the first person here, the first person plural. So the disciples, of course, hear Jesus' warning, and he's speaking of the teaching of these Pharisees, Sadducees, the influence that it represents, but they put a much more crass and sort of simplistic construction on it. And in some ways, commentators note how easily later writers could have softened this up, made the disciples more astute than they really are, but their honesty comes through here as they report the fact that they just didn't quite get it, and Jesus is going to have to spell it out for them, as takes place in the following verses.